Here we are at the first MarshStream. Amazingly, we have a whole broadcast platform. We did it really quickly. I want to thank, I think Julie Maya Panda's on here, and she's the one that kind of encouraged us to do it, and we turned it around in a week. And we've got programs every night starting tonight. Tomorrow night, you can watch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can watch Josh Kornbluth's Red Diaper Baby. And it's amazing because, you know, Josh Kornbluth is the one who did our very first run at the Marsh back in 1990, Haiku Tunnel. And now we're going to have him be our first movie, Friday and Saturday night and Sunday night. And on Friday night, we're going to do a Q&A. So I'm kind of curious to how everyone is doing during this quarantine. I've decided that I am on quarantine art crack. I don't know if you think that's funny. I was saying crack, but my husband said that wasn't A-OK. It had to be art crack, not just crack. I have been working and coming up with ideas. And even though it's a really catastrophic time, I have to say, acknowledging all that and hoping we all stay alive and healthy, it's been really something. So we're in our 30th year. Our shows are closed. We had enormously wonderful shows coming, but we want to give you everything we can on our broadcasts. As I said, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're having movies. On Monday, we're having the Monday Night Marsh. We're going to have a couple of people that we schedule, and then we're going to have a couple of outsiders come in, and you're going to need to send us some script stuff, and you might be able to do something as well, the participants. On Tuesday night coming up this week, we have Barbara Lane's Book Chatter, and she's got some friends, and she's going to be doing some book talk. On Wednesday, we have Solo Art Heals, and we're going to have, every Wednesday, we're going to have things about art performance and healing. And Thursday, we're back to me. And then on Friday night, if we can get it going, we're going to have game night at the Marsh with a performer. But tonight, what we're doing, oh so importantly, is I am interviewing the fabulous, the magnificent, the incredible, my dear buddy, Dawn Reed. And I was wondering if we want to bring Dawn Reed into the video. Oh, and a big thanks to Randy Craig again for joining us. He's always here in the cabaret on Wednesday nights when there is a cabaret, when there's not a quarantine. And if anybody wants to get on this, now that we're full, we can get up to 100 people. Feel free to tell them to go to the YouTube link. So, where is the wonderful Dawn? Where is Dawn?
Hello?
I hear him. I hear Dawn Reed.
Can you see me?
I can't see you. No, I cannot.
Why not?
There you are.
Everything okay?
Dawn Reed has a mask on.
Is everything okay?
Oh.
Everybody okay? Everybody okay? Good. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Dawn. You got your beard.
I know, right? I feel like almost my age. Not really, kind of. Facially, I feel, well, in the beard area, my Rona beard, right?
Only in parts of the beard do you look your age.
Oh, okay. Right there.
Well, Dawn, so here you are at the very first Stephanie's MarshStream.
I know, here we are, right?
And I want to welcome you, and I want to hear how you are doing. How are you doing, Dawn Reed?
Interestingly enough, I do a lot of isolation when I'm writing. So I'm kind of used to this when I'm digging deep. So it's actually, I'm flourishing creatively, but I'm concerned about what's going on. You know, I'm following all the rules. You know, California is ahead of the curve here in terms of doing things the right way. Newsom was the first one to call out, hey, the shelter. So I'm doing all the stuff that's supposed to be. I mean, I've got alcohol, you know, spray kits. I've got rubber gloves. I've got, you know, things to cover my face. But I'm just hoping everybody's doing that as well. Although it's been a very creatively, you know, flourish window for me. I'm also concerned about making sure everybody is feeling good out there. And you can write in the comments down there how you're feeling as well.
Yeah, tell us how you're feeling. Do you have any pet peeves during this quarantine moment? Anything that's peeving you and petting you?
Peeving me is people forgetting we're supposed to do the 6 feet distant and coming up close and asking questions. Hey, do you know where the bananas are? I'm like, I don't even work here. What are you doing? Yeah, a couple people, they forget. I forgot one time and the guy went like, hey. And I said, oh, got to remember that. We have to remember that distance. That and people taking way too much stuff. Oh my goodness, what's with I'll take 17 of these and leave nothing for the one behind me. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. People taking, you know, I'm going to take 83 of these items for me, just in case we get close to the world ending. No, save something for somebody else, you know? It's easy to do, to just think of the people behind you. I had something I posted on Facebook, I guess a couple of weeks ago. I was in line at Walgreens, and they were saying the alcohol was 2 per customer. And so I was in line, I got there, and I heard some yak that it was the last 2. And she put the last 2 up there. I said, is this the last 2? She said, yes. I said, I'll take 1. She said, oh, and just thinking about other people. I mean, it's just common courtesy, I would think. But I guess apparently some people need to be told to remember that.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, I'm going to give my pet peeve is because when I'm walking with my pet, Marsh mascot Trinity, and going up, I've been walking up Moraga all the way to the top. It's like 3 miles around and it's a big hill.
Right.
I'll be darned. Everybody else, there's hardly anybody. I walk everywhere to be away. But then these runners come up behind you and pass you, and you know that they are breathing out fast.
Oh, yeah.
Potential germs. And then I read this article yesterday, and it said they should be 10 meters away when they're either biking slowly or running. And I had to look up what 10 meters is, and that's 32 feet.
What?
So I want to just put a thing out that you runners go far away from the walkers. Yeah.
Go far away, right.
But luckily on video, we don't have to worry about any of that.
I know, right? Yeah, everybody's safe right now. Yes.
So Dawn, just to start, we'll keep going, but just to start at the beginning, tell us when was your first, and what was your first performance at the Marsh, and how did that happen?
Oh, wow. That was great. That was a great experience. Okay. So I just run East 14th off Broadway in New York and got some really good reviews. And I'd done East 14th in LA. That was supposed to be 5 weeks and turned into 5 months. And it's supposed to go off Broadway for, I think, like a month. And it turned into the entire summer of 2008. And so when I came back, I was like, it's time to finally come to the Bay Area, come home and do the show. Because I was a little reticent, didn't know what family members were going to go, hey, what you doing talking about us, right? And so I took my time. I did first, though, I got to enter this. I called my mother and told her, hey, mommy, I'm going to be doing a show. She said, what show? I said, a true story about my life. She said, that means my life too. What's it going to be about? I said, growing up and daddy, going the way he went. And, she's like, okay. I said, but there's something I need to tell you, something very specific I need to tell you. because I know there's some little pieces of betrayal in the show when my father took me to his girlfriend's houses and stuff. So I wanted to break that to her and tell her that was in the show. I wanted to tell her before I ever performed it for everyone. So I said, there's something I need to tell you. So kind of brace yourself. And she said, probably something about your father taking over his girlfriend's houses while I was at work. I was like, oh, wow. She said, yeah, I got some more stuff for you. Put this in the show. And then she gave me some more material. So that's what happened there. But on the track, it was 2009, end of 2008. And I did East 14th for a one night rising. But it was I'd already run it off Broadway. So I knew it was like going to be, and I did it. I walked off stage and you said, that was wonderful. And it meant so much to me because I knew this was a solo capital of San Francisco was the Marsh. So after that, we started a run in April 2009. And April 2009, I was supposed to do 6 weeks, and it turned into 2.5 years. And then we joined forces to open that Berkeley spot, Marsh Berkeley. Be like, hey, if you commit to being out here, we can start this up. And then after that, show after show. So thank you so much. Let me say that directly. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And thank you for the creative freedom too. That's so important. Because a lot of people don't have that. They have a lot of hoops to jump through before they can do their content. I'm able to do it in a very free-flowing form that allows it to breathe naturally, you know? But that was the first show, East 14th, 2009, April.
So I remember you telling me something. How many shows have you developed? And didn't it have to do with if you had to keep developing shows? Talk about that.
Okay, yeah, you said, well, the thing was, I had to keep developing shows because I was at the Tonight Show with Jay Leno and doing the audience warm-up every week. And Jay never missed a day. In 22 years, he missed one day because he had like appendicitis and had to go to the hospital. That's the only day he ever missed. So he set up this work ethic is you don't miss, you do not miss. So I never wanted to book myself far like Chicago or Florida or New York during that window of time at the Tonight Show for those 5 years, because I didn't want to get in a situation where I got caught on a flight and I'm stuck in Austin, Texas, and hey, where's Don? How come we not here? So I made sure I only went as far as the Bay Area. But if I was going to keep coming to the same area over and over and over, I knew I was going to have to start creating more shows. So after East 14th was a Kipling Hotel, after Kipling Hotel, and then I would do those shows some in LA as well. After Kipling Hotel was Can You Dig It, which was a prequel to East 14th. After that, I did Semi-Famous. After Semi-Famous, I did DMV. After DMV, am I losing track here? Yeah, I'm losing track. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that.
What'd you do after you did That Don Reed Show? You did, what was after DMV?
I think that's it, right?
Okay. And so that leads us to the next question. What the heck are you working on now, Mr. Don?
Well, I tell you, I was working on a really moving show that was a high percentage drama called Tent City. And I've interviewed a few folks, had some other experiences that I was going to tie in on a story with a lot of musical flow and a lot of vocal musical elements in it called Tent City. And it's set against Oakland and the authorities showing up and telling a Tent City they got to move within 45 minutes, which has happened before. I've actually talked to some of the homeless folks, and they've been in that situation. Even though they're supposed to be given 48 hours, sometimes someone called the cops and said something happened. Sometimes it's not even true. It's just like a business move, and they've got to go. So it's based on that. But I realized with all the heaviness going on that's happening right now with the, Cooties 19, let's call it, to keep it a little lighter. It's important to make people laugh. I think after people come out of this, they want to laugh. They don't want to be all heavy and dramatic right away. They want to release. And so I'm doing a show that is a potpourri of anecdotes that people haven't heard. Maybe they might have heard a little teeny bit of them, but not most of them. And it's all based on all the party nights with my brother, my parents' party nights, going out, all the times I went out dancing to have a great time. And sometimes it was a great time, and sometimes it was not such a great time. And it's called We Be Clubbin'. We Be Clubbin'. And it's just really a chance for people to come out when we come back, to come out and laugh, to just release and laugh, instead of having so many heavy beats. There's some texture and some warmth in there, which I always dip into. But it is the purpose of it is to have people have a gut laugh and enjoy themselves quite a bit. And I got a couple of can I give a little tidbit of it now?
Sure, go for it, Don.
Okay. So one story involves a night when I was a kid, and my father came in to the living room and told my mother, he said, I'm going out tonight, but you're not going with me. She's like, what? So yeah, I'm going out tonight, but you're not going with me. She's like, what are you talking about? Because they always went out together. They always went out. Well, when he started messing around and messing up, not then, but at the beginning, they go out dressed to the nines with like matching outfits. My father was into major detail on my mother's shoes. He would look at what she had on, what dress she bought, and then he'd go to the store and buy spray paint and match the exact color of one of the colors in her dress to her shoes. And I'm not talking about like a little half butt job. I'm talking about like polished, classy, looking cool. And he spray her shoes, dry them, and people go like, where'd you get those shoes? It's like, it's a secret. But my father had spray painted them from some paint he got from White Front, if you guys remember that place. Anyway, it was a big deal when he went out. My father would, lay out all his clothes and walk around it. He would I don't know how many people do this, but my father would lay his whole outfit out on the bed. The pants, the shirt, the jacket, the whole outfit and his hat, lay it out and walk around. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have on tonight. Oh, I'm gonna kill him tonight. So he's walking around and my mother's looking at him laying out his outfit going, and I'm not going. Oh, okay. So he finally showered, shaved, put on cologne, put on his whole outfit. But he was looking for his hat. He's like, where's my hat? What happened to my hat? He walked in the living room and my mother was holding his hat. She's like, I'm not going, huh? He said, that's right, you're not. She sat the hat on a chair and she sat on it and crushed it and sat down on the couch in the living room and turned on the Brady Bunch. And my father went in the back, took off his whole outfit and just sat right next to her. A broken man, because she ruined that hat. That actually happened. Another story, and you guys might know a little bit about this one, but then the one after that for sure you don't know much about it all. I was going out. My brother Daryl and I were going to go out, and he told me he met this girl from San Francisco. Remember, that's how we say San Francisco, trying to be cool. This girl from San Francisco, and he said she's real classy, man. Yo. She's real classy, and she don't want to be, hang with no half butt person. So listen, to sound like I was, kind of international, I didn't tell her my name was Daryl. I told her my name was Darrell. So make sure you say Darrell. Don't call me Daryl the whole night. Call me Darrell. I'm like, okay, right? So it was a double date because she had a friend. I was in the back seat with this girl. He's in the front seat driving, and the girl is there. And so I'm not even feeling this whole little move he's trying to do to call himself Darrell. So I'm messing with him like, hey, Darrell, what time we getting to the party? Darrell, oh yeah, are we gonna go you know, have some drinks, Durrell. And he keep looking at me like, don't be doing that, right? So later on that night, we hung out, we danced, we partied, and we were all leaving. And we were about to say goodnight. And she says, okay, I see you later, Daryl. He's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I know your name is regular old ghetto Daryl. Why don't you try to change it to Durrell? He's like, he's not feeling that. Not feeling that at all. Okay, so this other one I'm going to tell you very quickly is about a time that my brother Daryl and I were going to go out, and he was telling his girlfriend, not unlike my father told my mother she wasn't going. He told this girl she wasn't going to go with him to this party night called Freaky Mondays. It's called Freaky Mondays, and every Monday night people would show up and dance at this club. I think it was called His Lordships. I think that's the name of it. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, he told her, you are not going, me and my brother going. She's like, well, you'd have to take my car, so I guess you're not going, huh? So he's like, okay. So he told me, Donnie, listen, get dressed, but get on the couch and put the blanket over you like you sleep, but get dressed head to toe. He hid all his clothes in the living room closet. Later on, when she fell asleep, he tiptoed out into the living room, got dressed to the nines. We went outside. Now, there was this song out at the time called You Plus Me. The song went, dooga-doom, dooga-doom, booga-doom, doom, 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 booga-wow, booga-wow, boom, boom, boom. Feel it in my heart. Boom, 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 boom. You plus me. Bum, bum, bum. Somebody's got me. Bum, bum. This funky, cool song, right? That was a song that was out. We knew when we got to Freaky Mondays, we would dance to that song. But we're outside in front of the house, and my brother says, we're going to take the car anyway. So what he did was he put the car in neutral. He didn't turn it on, put the car in neutral, and we backed it out of the driveway with the engine not on. We pushed it up the street. When we got far enough away, about a block away, vroom, and we turned on the engine, guess what was on? Booga-boom, 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 boom, 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 you plus me. Song jamming, we head to Freaky Mondays. Freaky Mondays was an exciting place to go, and there was a long line of cars waiting to go in. The way out was wide open, but the way to go in was bumper to bumper. People parking in the parking lot, going in to party at Freaky Mondays. We're in the cars, and a car comes up, going down the up way, the exit way, on the side of us. It's his girlfriend. In her rollers. Daryl Reed, what the heck you doing? You ain't supposed to be taking my car. He's like, hey, calm down. Just trying to go party, all right? He goes out of the line, drives up. She tries to chase him. We now see that she has on her robe and house shoes. And he's running up to the front of the line. She's chasing him. We get in line. At some point, she heads back to her car. We go inside the club. We're standing inside the club. The music's playing. Everything's on point. And we look over towards the door. And she's standing at the door in her rollers and her house coat going, I need to talk to him. And the doorman's like, you're not dressed properly. She said, I need to talk to him. She came in, crossed the dance floor, and jammed him up in her house coat and house shoes and rollers in her hair. Daryl Reed, I can't believe you did this. He took her to the side and talked to her for a minute. Hey, check it out. Yo. Talked to her. And then she walked out. And he came over to me. I'm like, what's happening, man? We got to leave? She's like, no. But she said, if I don't bring her some quick way home, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. You plus me. Somebody's got me. So that's a little teeny excerpt from We Be Clubbing. The music will be in the show, the dancing in the show, and all the events that happen when you try to go have a good time when maybe you're not supposed to. Or sometimes they're really fun. You still there? Did I lose you?
I'm here. I'm here, and there's a bunch of people here. We can't hear them though. So so that's from We Be Clubbing. I'm looking at some of the what do you call it, chats or whatever. And somebody said,
do I need to move to the other lighting?
Okay. You're going to go to the other lighting?
Do you want me to? Do I need to?
What do you say? What? You look fine.
Okay, great.
So anyway, somebody was saying they want to hear it in trout mouth. You want to do a little trout mouth for us?
Okay, hold on. Let me, hold on one second.
Is there?
What's that?
I was just going to say trout mouth on the quarantine.
Trout mouth on the quarantine. Okay, hold on one second. Oh,
well, Don Reed, you can see.
I can't believe the situation that's going on right now. Can you believe what they got going on out here? This situation is not good at all. Oh, no. We got to watch out. The Rona's out there. The Rona is trying to get you. Do you understand what I'm saying? The CDC can already explain what y'all need to do. 6 feet apart at all times, baby. I don't care how fine you are. I ain't trying to get with you right now. I don't care how stunning, gorgeous, or beautiful you're supposed to be. I'm not rolling with you, okay? I'm not shaking hands. I ain't hugging nobody right now. Listen what they say. Wear your mask, and stay away from people, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. Social distancing, right? I'm not a fan of social distancing because you know how I love the ladies and the ladies love me. Wait, who's that over there?
Woohoo! Hey,
Okay.
Don. That was good, Don. Thank you for trout mouth. Is there any other character you want to do for us?
A character that I want to do for you guys?
Yeah.
I got one. You ready? Okay, this is somebody right on the bottom. You guys remember E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial, right?
Yep. Okay,
so this is a new updated scene of E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial, okay? Bum, 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 bum. E.T., I want to be with you. I want to go ride on the bicycle with you across the front of the moon. I just want to have a great time. E.T., what do you think? Elliot, stay home. Don't phone home. Stay home. There you go.
Great, Don. Great, Don. So, you know that Tent City, right? That's part of the Soul Performance Musical Festival group, right? You were going to do that for that?
What's that again?
Tent City. We were going to do Tent City as part of the Solar Performance Musical Festival, right?
Right.
But that's not going to be for a while, so you could probably do both shows, huh? We Be Clubbing and Tent City once we get out of the...
Yeah. I'll end up with 2 shows back to back because of this time down. The creative flow is just pouring out. So yeah, but I'll start with We Be Clubbing for a limited run, and then when we feel a sense of normalcy, I'll dip into Tent City. But I'm pretty certain that this will impact it as well. That what's happening with the COVID-19 will be a part of the storyline because they're being impacted directly. I don't know if some people think about this, but the homeless count on our foot traffic for panhandling. They count on it, but a lot of people are not out right now or following the suggestions and regulations. And as a result, they're doing really, really bad. So I was going to throw this thought out. If you get an opportunity, maybe you'll see. If you could take the time to wash some water bottles, like wash them and sterilize them, clean them real good, let them dry in the sun with some rubber gloves, roll up $1 or $2. And when it's dry, just drop it in there and close it up. That way you can either say, hey, would you like a little help? Because sometimes some homeless people are like, no, I'm good. But ask them if they'd like some help. And then you could toss that little bottle with a couple of dollars rolled up inside. Or you could place it on the ground safely and say, hey, just social distancing, but there's some money in there for you. And those few times that you go to the store, if you do that with 2 or 3 bottles, maybe you could give a little bit of help. Just a little thought.
Well, that's really a neat thought, Don. Which reminds me, do we have the tip jar on here? I don't know. Did that happen?
We do. I'm putting it up at about every 15 or 20 minutes or so. It's going to be in the chat on the side.
Right. Yeah. So we're just helping everyone to sustain ourselves here. Any kind of donations or becoming a member of the Marsh would be really wonderful. Meanwhile, back to Don. Don, where are you?
Hey, were you going to tell me something about some of the other Marsh things coming up? When is there was a show that had the name Goddess in it. When is that happening?
That happened already. Oh my goddess. And we're looking at the video to see that. But we're pretty focused on the stream right now. And once this happens, like Dan Hoyle's show is coming, Tina Dalia's show. I think Irma's got a show we were doing. There's a whole bunch of shows coming up once we get rolling on this.
You'll be kind of backlogged.
Yeah, we're going to be backlogged, but we will roll forward and get rid of the backlog and be fine, hopefully. But the things that are coming up, like on the MarshStream, we're really excited about, which we talked about already. But Don, you must be, I know you're not just doing solo performances, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, and was wondering if you want to talk a little bit about that beyond the solo performer. Okay,
I'm going to try and switch because I see this side is getting a little dark. So I'm going to switch and see if this works, okay? Does that work? Did that work?
Yeah, you're a whole different hue. You're bright.
Okay, so yes, it is a very tough time because I depend a lot on live performance. I'm performing live all the time, be it on stage or at the television tapings in Los Angeles, or guest starring on a show or any of those things. A lot of that is born of performing live. So it is a stressful time and a very challenging time. But something that is moving forward, and I already finished some of it already, is I got a deal with TBS and True TV, actually. And what they were trying to do is they wanted to create some fun spots to help the advertisers. Let me explain. Each year, there's this big thing, big event called Upfronts, where all the networks meet there, but also all the advertisers, Clorox, Budweiser, Mercedes-Benz, they all show up and they throw money at the networks. Like NBC said, we're going to give you, $40 million during this part of the year. TBS is also creating their own content for the advertisers. And so I created this thing that I wrote. I wasn't supposed to be doing it, but I wrote it. And it's like fake slam poetry. Like, my life is like a leaf. You see the leaf fall, and yet my heart flutters. That over the top poetry, spoken word stuff that people do. we did it a comedic slant on it, but it always ends in an advertiser. So it'd be like communication, communicado, you say something, I say something. I think of you, you think of me. We talk to each other. You're talking, I talk, and now Boost Mobile, where you at? So these little fake spots, like somebody's being deep on a poetry stage, but actually they're just setting up the next advertiser. And there's a lot of advertisers. There's, wow, Chipotle, Levi's, IKEA, and we just finished 2 of them. We finished Boost Mobile and Apartments.com, and they were really great. And now they're trying to work out a way, because it's just me on stage, but it was a crew of like 20, so we halted all the production. But they're trying to think of a way to do it where I'm on the stage by myself after the lighting man sets the lights. He leaves, I go on the stage, a sound man is 10 feet away from me with a boom mic, and the director's in a separate room with a monitor, and all the executives are at home looking through screens. So we're trying to think of a social distancing way to create the spots since it's just me. I wrote the spots, but then they started auditioning people, and one guy was saying, why doesn't Don do the spots? And they were like, no, the executive at the top needs to see all the people. So they auditioned like 50 people, and they got me down to the last 3. I didn't have to jump through a lot of hoops, but they got down to the last 3, and the guy's like, they didn't tell him that I wrote the spots. They said, well, of course, this guy, him. So then I got it. So I'm writing them and performing them. And I have them, but it's kind of top secret. I can't show them to anybody. Maybe somebody maybe inboxes me. I could sneak a couple or one to see like a peek, but I have to ask them first. So no real promises, but they're really fun, and they're really short, 20 seconds, 30 seconds long. So I've been doing that. I got a couple of other things that are in deep negotiation that I will not say anything about. I'm not gonna say anything. And it's different stuff I didn't even know was gonna be happening, but it all aligns with some of the things I have announced on stage sometimes at the shows. For sure, Broadway's on a super hold now, not only because of this, but because it's something that happened from another production angle with it. But it's gonna be okay. It's a challenging time right now, but the upside of being able to create in this little vacuum. You see this room? I have no paintings on the wall. I have no distractions. It's all work, right.
Well. So do you think we should open it up to some questions now, Don? Do you think we're ready for that?
I think so. Let me grab my glasses if I need them. Got them. Bam.
So what do we think? What does everybody think Don looks like in his glasses and his beard?
Professor of African American history.
You stole my line, Don.
Hey, it's better I say it, right?
Okay, so let's see. This is our first Q&A on the MarshStream.
I said Urkel as an old man.
What was that?
Somebody wrote Urkel as an old man. Hey, did I do that?
Okay, how do we do this?
What is it you want to do?
We want to ask people to ask Don some questions.
Okay, everybody out there, if you have a question, on the bottom of your screen, you should have a tab called Reactions. If you click on that, you'll get either an applause, which we're always happy to have, or the thumbs up to let me know that you have a question. So give me a thumbs up if you have a question, and I'll unmute you, and we'll see what Don has to say.
Okay, am I supposed to push something, or I'll just see the question?
No, if you don't see it, I'll point it out to you, sir. But now we're just waiting on the good folks. Yes, JulieMayaPanda.com. You can raise your hand too. God bless you. She's a Zoom pro.
Okay.
Now we're just waiting on folks to make comments, or I don't see any raised hands.
Hi, Nikki.
Thumbs up. Does Mary Karuba, does she have a question, or does she just have her thumbs up?
I think, gosh, I don't even see the thumbs up. Where's that?
It came and went.
Boom.
Well, maybe that doesn't work. Hey, everybody, how about you type your question in the chat room? Daria, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, Mary Karuba does have a question. What is it, Mary?
Let me get Daria first. She was very helpful on something a little bit.
Hey, Audria, how are you?
I hope I'm saying that pronounced properly.
I'm unmuted. Beautiful. Hey.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, Don. Could you please do a musical remix for us, Don? Please.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can. Okay. I don't know if you ever saw this before, but it goes. It goes. It goes. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note, but don't worry. Be happy. Because if you worry, face will frown. That will bring everybody down. So don't worry. Be happy. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know that happiness is the truth. Don't worry. Be happy, because I'm happy. 2 songs in one.
That's a remix. Thank you, Don. Audria, what do you say?
Boo, boo.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Don.
Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you live again.
Yes.
And ma'am, just so we know, what's the best pronunciation of your name?
Oh, okay. It's Andrea.
Audrea. Okay, that's a beautiful name. Sorry, I just wanted to chime in. And let's see, Dawn, if you don't mind, here's another question from Steve Mays. He's asking, is the DMV TV show still a possibility?
So much so you have no idea. Okay, this part I will say. This is what I can say, okay? I have now engaged someone I would have hired. Well, for a while I said there was a woman, a writer who I would be the first additional writer for the series. She's an Emmy winner. Her name is Leah Krinsky. She won an Emmy. She's been nominated actually like 6 times for an Emmy, but she won the Emmy for writing for the Dennis Miller Show years back. But she's written for Conan, a bunch of other shows, and she's fast and she is smart. And I had learned recently that I needed to take advantage of something. And this is something that a lot of showrunners do. At the beginning of a show's inception, it's important that the pilot is bulletproof, like super bulletproof. And I'm so used to working in solo work, even though I've written on half-hour shows, it was somebody else's idea and I was writing for that show. And they already laid out what the concept was. But working the solo world, I work very privately by myself and let the audience decide if they like it or not. But in this half-hour world, there will eventually be an entire crew of writers. And what I found is some people create a show, they write it, but then they send it to some other top writers to see if they can put some splash on it. These are people you would like the network to hire to bring the show in every week with the crew of writers. So I got it to this woman, Leah Krinsky. She loves it. Now she's putting a layer of magic on it before I take it back to a very specific person who I met with at 20th Century Fox. It's the pedigree of the show has raised so immensely. I can explain. I would probably tell Steve Mays privately who it is, but probably best not for me to say it just like straight out like this. So if you direct message me, I'll tell you who it is with now.
Wonderful. Mr. Mays, did you hear that? If you want to send Don a private message, you could send it to marsh@themarsh.org, or if you find him on Facebook or social media, I'm sure you could find him. Let's see.
We're connected on social media.
Oh, heck, okay. Sheesh. Let's see. I know Julie Motz had a question. I think she was one of the very first people to come into the room. She Was anxious to see
Hey,
you.
Julie, how's it going?
Her question is, that thing you do where you inhabit other people's bodies, can you teach that? Let's see if we could unmute her if you want to chat. Miss Julie,
Yeah.
here you are. You're on.
So,
Hey, Julie, how's it going?
well, it's fun and it's wonderful to see you. It's brightened my sequestering here, but and I'm doing a lot of hiking. I mean, a lot of serious hiking. But but the thing you do where you literally become other people, and you, I mean, haven't met the people, so I couldn't say, but you feel you transform yourself. You know, can that be taught? Can you teach people how to do that?
I think I can lay down the technique of how I go about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think people, and I've talked to like comics about this and solo performers and actors. I think some people have forgotten about the mirror. And I think the mirror is one of the best tools you can ever have to create physical characters, to embody them. And some people try to take on the whole shape of, say, I don't know, like if they were doing a chimp or something, like, they're like, I'll just do the arms. Or they try to take on too much. If you can kind of create in the mirror specific parts of like the chimp, of like the, you can get that part, like what can you do to centralize the visual aspects? What can you do to centralize the aspects? And you do that in the mirror. The mirror is your best friend for that. If it's an animal or a person, looking for that thing about them that stands out the most. If you can bring that to life, you can kind of get the person. And the voice comes after that. But physically, it's about seeing that thing that stands out the most about the person and exaggerating it. You're actually exaggerating it. I mean, I'm sure Trout Mouth's mouth was more like, probably like that, but I do them like, so exaggerating that, and you find that in the mirror. You're like, okay, I remember so-and-so, he had kind of like an odd eye. His eye was like that. And you look in the mirror and you get it right. Okay, look, okay, was it like that? Was it like that? Then when you locked it in. Hey, how y'all doing? What's going down? How you doing, player? So mirror's best friend.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Because it's something
I'm giving you a virtual hug right now.
Yes, okay.
Thank you very much, Julie. Let's see. Does anybody have a question? Here, another one from Amy Fields Reed. Do you have any other talented siblings?
Not a single one. I got it all. Somehow I got it all. No. I'll end on someone, but I'm going to start with my brother Shelly is incredibly talented. He could, if he worked on it, he could start doing stand-up tomorrow. Just about anybody in my family probably could have been a stand-up. But most recently, I've been blown away by my little brother, Billy Ray. And basically, Billy, and they just had their 1-year wedding anniversary. Everybody virtual clap. And that year went by way too fast for me. Way, way, way too fast. It's like, well, I got 20 of those left if I'm lucky. 20, 25 of those, unless they come up with some kind of medicine. But he sent me some videos of him doing characters. And at some point, I got to get him up in some stuff and get him on that stage. Stephanie, are you listening?
I am. It looks like he actually is the one that asked the question.
No, he didn't ask it.
Yeah, he did.
Was it him? I couldn't see.
Amy Fields Reed.
Okay, so it's not him, it's her.
They may be together. Can we unmute them? Daniel, can we unmute them?
Yes, ma'am. Give me just a brief moment. Amy, are you with us still?
It's all me and Billy. Hi, Donnie.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Hey, I'm putting Billy Ray on blast right now. You have to do at least a night, which is called Monday Night Marsh. At some point near the end of 2020, it's a Monday Night Marsh. You got to do 15 minutes of something. I'll help you with it, but you got to do it.
God.
Now everybody heard it. Too late now. Can't get out of it now. He's super talented. He's super, super talented.
Maybe.
Maybe. You say maybe you do it or maybe you're talented. I know you're talented.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, start working on it now. In fact, hang up and start writing some stuff down.
Well, geez, Don, it looks like you're trying to look like your brother. He's got a beard and those glasses on.
Hey, I'm trying to look like him. I'm the older one. It's not possible for an older person to try to look like a younger person.
Well, I don't know. Trying to look younger, you may be trying to go after his style.
Can I ask you something, Stephanie?
Please.
Why do you have to hurt? Why do you have to tear down? Got to give credit. That's Enz Mitchell's joke. He says that all the time. Somebody says anything slightly disparaging, he goes, can I ask you something? Why do you have to hurt? Always tearing down, never building.
Well, okay. He was just trying to look like you, even though you never looked like this before 2 days ago.
Oh, slam. Are you hearing that, Billy? Okay. I love you guys. I'll see you guys later.
Love you. Bye.
All right. So is there any more questions? We have just a couple more minutes and then we're going to Mary Karuba. How about her? She raised her hand.
An hour went by that fast?
No, 54 minutes.
Yeah, an hour.
How about Mary Karuba? She wants to ask a question. And
Hi, Don. Hey, hello. It was wonderful to see you. Thank you.
Hey, hi.
Hello. And let's excuse the poor lighting in here. I'm just wondering what this medium is like for you, because I know you're performing to the little green dot on your phone or your laptop, and I've been doing some of that lately online. And I'm wondering how you're relating to the audience through this medium and how it is for you, and what are the challenges?
I think the challenge is I'm very physical, as you know, and maybe not being able to do everything I would normally do is a challenge. But what might help you if you're doing some of it as well is to recognize the space and use the close-ups in a very specific manner. When you want to make a point, you can go bam, you see what I'm saying? And back like that. This is like your norm space right here, but you don't want to abuse your close-ups. So I'm using it like a teeny movie. You save the close-ups for the important stuff. Because if you do it the whole thing here, then it's all one note. So you can play with the plane. You can play with the plane. You can exit, kind of self-edit yourself by popping out, you know. But I like it. I like it. But I'm making sure I'm playing the planes properly and utilizing those close-ups. Because if you use them too many times, it loses its punch. But if you wait for the right moment and go, can you believe that? See, it has a feel to it.
Thank you.
So,
that's excellent.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Maybe I need to finally do a class, Stephanie.
yeah, you could do it right now virtually. Why don't you do that?
I got something to do.
What?
No, so I got a lot of stuff to do. I can't do it now.
Oh, you were saying you want to do a class sometime in the future.
Yeah, I should probably do it eventually at some point, but it's got to be kind of mercurial, where people. I've been reluctant to do one and only done privates because if 20 or 30 people sign up, and then I can't make it because I got to shoot something in LA, whatever. They're like, oh, you let down 30 people. But if you do, as I've been doing creative consulting one-on-one, then if it switches, we can say, oh, we're not doing this Thursday, we're doing next Monday. And it's like, oh, no problem, because it's one person. But when you tell 30 people, I'm not going to be there, they go like, hey, what are you doing? That's why I haven't done it up till now.
Well, just thinking about the creative consultants, one of the great things you did for the Marsh this year was to bring Robert Townsend to our stage. And I think you did some creative consulting with him. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Robert and I go way, way, way back. We go way back. In fact, I was living in the Kipling Hotel. We talked about this the other day. I was living in the Kipling Hotel in room 204, not far from Skid Row on 3rd and Kingsley when he called me and offered me a role in Hollywood Shuffle. That's where I was standing, right in there when I found out I was going to be in that movie. And so we had that union. And then he did a series of HBO specials called Partners in Crime, which were wildly successful and trajected my career to be able to travel and play a lot of places. Got on the college circuit with a lot of that juice, headlined a lot of comedy clubs. And Robert went on to do a bunch of feature films. I went deeper into voiceover and half-hour television, and we kind of went in separate directions. But then when I told him I was doing my one-man show off Broadway in New York years back, he's like, I'll be there. And first night, opening night, there's Robert. Hadn't been around each other in probably 7, 8, 9 years at that point, and bam, he was right there. And he said, man, I'm really moved by this, man. I'm really thinking about this medium a lot. He said, this can be a lot of other things too, this project. This could be a movie, this could be this or that. Anyway, recently he saw my excerpt that I did with Snap Judgment called I Miss Tony, about my brother who became my sister. And he's like, man, it's time for me to do it. Time for me to do it. He'd been working on it some. He'd done a few performances in New York, just a couple, and a couple, I think, in Texas. And then he's like, I'm ready to bust out. I'm ready to come hard. And so he came with it, and I made some notes here and there. The lion's share was his magic and what he does. But each night we talked for 35 to 40 minutes and went through each detail, movement and lines and stuff that he said. And he brought it. He got a standing ovation every single show, every show. But Robert doesn't play. He's so dedicated and has so much discipline. And it heightened the game of my show, my shows as well. Because as soon as I started performing again, because I was on a bit of a hiatus while I was making sure we produced this show properly, I had a couple of shows here and there where I polished and changed some things, and it raised the game on my shows. So, but he loved it. He loved it. And I know he would like to come back at some point, but he's got invitations to go broader. And we were going to do some of that, but then we got hit with the C-19. So I guess they're going to come later. But what an experience and what a guy. We were very, very blessed to have him in the mix and bring some notoriety. There's some other guys who have reached out to me who eventually like to come to the Marsh as well. So we're going to have a nice mixture of fresh new faces you've never seen before that Stephanie curates through her great executive director eye, and then some people who I meet, and then the folks who come in through the Monday Night Marsh and the Marsh Risings with Dave Harada and the other folks. So it's going to be, we're going to come back with a big sheen, probably stronger, brighter, more creative than ever. I think so. I know so.
Well, thank you so much, Don. You're such an incredible performer. You've been such a wonderful support system, even during this time. And I really want to thank you. And it's actually 8:31. And I want to put out the tip jars again. You want to donate to the Marsh and keep us sustainable in this time when we are not making any money through ticket sales, which is 75% of our earned income. So if you can do some tipping to us, and we'll share it with the performer, Mr. Don. And I want to tell you, maybe you can put me back on too. I don't know if you can have Don and me at the same time, Daniel. But what's coming up next week at Stephanie's MarshStream is going to be Josh Kornbluth. He's going to be doing it amazingly. The first person to do our first full-length run, Haiku Tunnel. He'll be back next week. And for our second MarshStream. And we're also showing Red Diaper Baby. And as my sister said, she couldn't stay up tonight, but she was happy to stay up for Red Diaper Baby. Can you believe that? My own sister, and it is her birthday. Hello, happy birthday to her.
Hello, happy birthday.
And happy birthday also to Candace Johnson tonight. She's got the same.
Oh, cool. She does?
Yep, turns out. And I want to thank all of you all of you who joined us this very first night. I hope you keep coming back. Let us know what you thought about it. We would love to hear. And just really thank you. Hey, MarshStream, it's up and going, and we're going to have youth programs every day, starting soon at 4 o'clock for the kids. And thank you so much, everybody. Be safe, be healthy, be in good spirits. We love you for supporting the Marsh and being here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
It was great.
Thank you. Take care.
Everybody
Have a great
be safe.
time.
Everybody be safe.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. We're signing off.
Wonderful.
In June, July, we have to reduce the organization.